Adam and the Waitress. A rich woman whose car broke down in the middle of the road started waving to other cars, but the cars were speeding and no one stopped for her. She stayed for a long time when it began to drizzle, indicating that it was going to rain cats and dogs. While she was afraid of the dark, an old maid car driven by a brown-skinned man came to a halt for her. She stared at the driver and couldn't decide whether to get into the car or not. She was afraid of him being greedy, as she assumed whoever saw her would know immediately about her richness. After a few seconds of thought, she decided to get into the car. On their way, she was staring at the driver, who seemed very poor and needy. She then inquired as to his name and job. He informed her he worked as a driver, so she felt quite at ease, and she blamed herself because the guy was polite and he did not even glance at her once. When the lady arrived, she decided to pay him the money he requested. She asked him, "How much did it cost?" "Nothing," he responded. "It didn't work. You helped me and drove me here," she explained. "My fee is to do good with everybody you meet," the driver added with a smile. Having thanked him, the lady walked into a coffee shop and ordered a cup of coffee. Meanwhile, she observed that the waitress who brought her the coffee was pregnant and her face looked pale. So she asked her, "Why do you look exhausted?" "I am about to give birth to my kid," the waitress said. "Therefore, why didn't you stay at home?" the lady inquired. "I have to work these days to afford my baby's birth," the waitress replied. The lady gave the waitress a sum of money that is 10 double of the coffee price. The waitress went to the cashier and then came to the lady to give the rest back to her. She turned right and left, but she didn't find the lady and noticed a paper with something written on it. "I left the rest as a present for your baby." When she realized that the lady had given her 6 times her pay, the waitress was over the moon, and she hurriedly returned home to inform her husband, who had no clue how he would be able to pay for his wife's delivery. When she got home, she called her husband, who was perplexed as to why his wife had come home early from work and assumed she was about to give birth, cuddled him and cheerfully said, "Good news. Allah eliminated all problems." Adam was a driver who gave the elderly lady a free ride in exchange for helping others. It is true that what goes around comes around. Is the repayment of kindness anything except kindness?
يا أيها الذين آمنوا اركعوا واسجدوا واعبدوا ربكم وافعلوا الخير لعلكم تفلحون وجاهدوا في الله حق جهاده هو اجتباكم وما جعل عليكم في الدين من حرج ملة أبيكم إبراهيم هو سماكم المسلمين من قبل وفي هذا ليكون الرسول شهيدا عليكم وتكونوا شهداء على الناس فأقيموا الصلاة وآتوا الزكاة واعتصموا بالله هو مولاكم فنعم المولى ونعم النصير.